Can you see, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So I think G you have to read, I think, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Or F.
Srila Prabhupada established the governing body commission to execute his will following the order of the previous acharyas. Should I read? I mean, continue, Prabhuji, or
Can
anyone?
somebody else can read actually.
Okay.
Some other devotee can please continue from here onwards.
Shall I, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Srila Prabhupada, after realizing the teachings of the previous acharyas, gave his followers the completely balanced and authorized system for practicing Krishna consciousness. The system that is timeless and eternal as well as appropriate for today's world. Srila Prabhupada knew the needs of his followers as well as the needs of the people of the world. His gift of Krishna consciousness is the perfect and priceless gift for us and for the world. By assisting Srila Prabhupada and his representatives in discriminating the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one
Disseminating.
becomes Prabhuji?
Disseminating actually the word.
Disseminating, yes, Prabhuji, sorry, Prabhuji. Disseminating the Sankirtana movement of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one becomes blessed and the fallen souls of the world get the inconvincible mercy of Krishna consciousness. Everyone should very carefully study the books and teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, so that they can continue the great legacy of Krishna consciousness that Srila Prabhupada has given to the world. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyway, so last paragraph, somebody want to read? Chitramati, would you like to read last paragraph?
The personality of Kali is certainly extremely upset by Srila Prabhupada's implanting and spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. King Kali will try to do anything in his power to put obstacles in front of Krishna consciousness movement's progress. Individually, we will be tested in all varieties of ways. Collectively, the tests will also come in the form of various attempts to block our progress or deviate us from Srila Prabhupada's path. We should remain firmly under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada and in that way cling strongly to the lotus feet of their lords, Sri Sri Nitai Gaura. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so basically this is just some important points which you have to understand. Like this is more like an organizational aspect when we are connected with ISKCON, right? So, so
Prabhuji, what
Prabhupada
is GBC?
is governing body council.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, yeah, so Prabhupada actually is mentioned as a preeminent Shiksha Guru. No, he is the first main Shiksha Guru in our organization, right? Because Prabhupada established ISKCON. And so basically one important thing is that the Acharya, when he comes, right, though he will not change the message or original message, that is a quality of an Acharya, genuine Guru, right? But he will present it in a way which actually according to the time, place and circumstances. Okay, so in modern times, in this particular 21st century or whatever, 22nd century, Prabhupada came in the 21st century, right? Or 20th century, yes. So based on whatever social situations are prevailing, for example, you can see that how Prabhupada actually is telling the things in a very simple way to understand. So Prabhupada actually has in the modern times. So actually Prabhupada's appearance was predicted much earlier at the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has already predicted that there will be a Senapati devotee Bhakta who is going to come, and he will spread the glories of holy names throughout the world. And 500 years ago, Lord Krishna, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also has predicted that in every town and village, my holy names will be chanted. So until Prabhupada came, this was never, this thing never happened actually. Only when Prabhupada appeared, and he went to the Western countries and established ISKCON throughout the world, then actually this prophecy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came true. So we have to understand that Prabhupada actually should not be considered as an ordinary person, right? Ordinary soul, because we see that many of the acharyas, in our sampradaya, like especially if you look at the Goswamis of Vrindavan, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, like that, Jiva Goswami. So these Goswamis, it is mentioned in some of the, there's a book called Gaura Ganodesha Deepika. So in that it is mentioned. One thing is that the different associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? It is mentioned who they were in their previous life. So we see that many of them actually, many of them are actually, see, whenever the Lord comes, he always comes along with his pure devotees, his eternal associates. So we see that many of them are Lord's eternal associates who has come from the spiritual world. So, so similarly, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, it is mentioned, they are actually, from the spiritual world. They are Manjaris, like Rupa Manjari, Radhi Manjari, like that. So Manjaris are actually associates of Srimati Radharani in the Golok Vrindavan. So if you tell these things to a normal person, definitely they will not be able to appreciate. But actually, when we gradually have faith in the spiritual master, when we understand the position of the Lord, right, how Lord is transcendental, when we gradually understand more and more about the Lord, then we will be gradually able to appreciate these things. So externally to the normal people, mundane eye, Prabhupada may look like just like any other ordinary person, right? But then many people, many disciples of Prabhupada, they told that whenever they met Prabhupada first time only, they actually felt there is something very powerful about the Prabhupada, right? Very special, very effulgence, and many things like that. So, but not everybody will be able to see or appreciate it, right? But actually, we should have faith. So we should consider Prabhupada. Prabhupada actually is considered as a as a spiritual person, right? We have to understand that he also has come here as part of the Lord's mission, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, to establish, to fulfill his desire actually, right? So this way we should really understand the position of the Acharya, right? True Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. Similarly, all the previous acharyas, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they are all actually not ordinary people. They are all specially empowered souls who has actually taken up the mission of Lord, right? To spread, to give the holy name to all the people, conditioned souls of Kali Yuga. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, so we have to understand. So Prabhupada actually is considered as a Shiksha Guru. There are two type of Guru we told, Shiksha and Diksha. So Shiksha Guru is an instructing spiritual master. The instructions. So we can, a particular disciple or particular devotee can have multiple Shiksha Gurus, but only one Diksha Guru. So Diksha Guru is the spiritual master who gives initiation, right, by giving the spiritual mantra, right? So the Diksha Guru actually is responsible for the disciple. No, he is responsible for taking the disciple back to spiritual world. It is told that when one take Diksha, that person's all the past karma, all sinful activities, right? Everything actually is taken by the spiritual master. He has to absorb all of them. So, and once you, that is why it is very important that we should be completely convinced before we take initiation. And after taking initiation, we should not commit any sinful activities. If we commit sinful activities, then spiritual master has to suffer for that. Okay, so we have to understand. So Diksha Guru is the relationship between a Diksha Guru and a disciple is not of one lifetime. It is called Janme Janme Prabhute, right? So life after life, the relationship is established in the sense that if the disciple is not able to go back or not able to attain perfection in one lifetime, it is told that the spiritual master has to again take birth, in just to deliver that particular soul. So that way it is a very profound relationship, the relation between a Diksha Guru and a disciple. But a Shiksha Guru is an instructing spiritual master. So there can be many Shiksha Gurus that a person can take. We can take instructions from many pure devotees. So this way, Prabhupada is considered as a preeminent Shiksha Guru, the topmost or the first Shiksha Guru in our in the ISKCON. And yeah, so Diksha Guru can be anybody. Like the Prabhupada disciple who are actually who are qualified. Like for example, the disciples who are given sannyas disciples of Prabhupada, or even Grahastha disciples. Rarely, when they are actually fully qualified and when they are known to be in the Uttamadhikari stage or Madhyamadhikari stage, then actually they can also initiate disciples. So as any organization needs, like in the material world, we are operating in the material world, right? So in the material world, to operate any organization, there has to be some kind of a body to govern it. And Prabhupada actually, even in Bhakti Vinod Thakur's time also, he had some kind of a system by which actually things were put into place. No, some monitoring the activities, taking the reports and various things like that. So one most important thing of governing is to ensure that there is no deviation, right? It should not happen that the people who are in the subsequent generation they deviate from the original principles. So this governing body council primary goal is to ensure, one is to conduct the management of the ISKCON as a whole, and to always ensure that all the temples, all the devotees, they are actually following the principles and regulations, which are actually stipulated. So that is a governing body commission or council. Any questions anybody has till now? Then it is mentioned that we have seen that already, right? There are 4 authorized parampara, and our parampara is actually coming under the Madhava Sampradaya, right? Brahma Madhava Gaudiya parampara. So so this is actually Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So it is starting from Lord Brahmaji. So there are 4 sampradayas, right? One is starting from Lord Brahma, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. What is the other 3 sampradayas? Anybody can say?
Rudra Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya.
Yes. So Rudra Sampradaya is starting from Lord Shiva, right? And Kumar Sampradaya is starting from 4 Kumaras. And other one, Sri Sampradaya, is starting from Lakshmi Devi, right? So these are considered the 4 authorized parampara, and it is actually mentioned in Padma Purana, which are the 4 authorized paramparas. So ours is, we have to understand that which lineage we are belonging to, right? Though ISKCON is actually a legal entity which has been created by Srila Prabhupada, but actually it is it's a branch of the existing. That's why Prabhupada, when somebody asked how old is the thing, he told it's 5,000 years. He told, right? So we can only tell 5,000 years. If you tell them that it is so many million years, these people will not have faith. So that's why Prabhupada is presenting the information which is acceptable to the people of the current situation. Whoever is asking according to their level, he is answering. So we have to use our intelligence to understand. Like we should not take some of the examples, which Prabhupada is talking. Like different people, level of people, Prabhupada may give the instruction accordingly, right, to what they can understand, right? So that we have to keep it in mind clearly. Okay, so so this is actually, it is eternal, right? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Imam Vivaswade Yogam Proktavan, basically says that this knowledge I have spoken to Sun God. Sun God means so many millions of years, right? So it's an eternal thing. So we have seen that the Vedic knowledge is not something new. It is eternally existing, and this parampara, 4 paramparas are also eternally existing. That we have to also understand, right? But Prabhupada, to fulfill the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to spread the holy name throughout the world, he established this entity called ISKCON. That way we have to understand it. Okay, so yeah, so we have to, very important thing is that what is the essence of these points is that we should, Prabhupada has to be considered as a preeminent acharya in our sampradaya, like in our ISKCON, and we should always ensure that all of us, we never actually deviate from the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. That is the essential point we have to understand. And Srila Prabhupada's teachings are not different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. That we have to understand. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Krishna, right? These things we already know. Yeah, anybody has any questions?
Prabhuji, just one question. In the followers of Datta, which sampradaya they comes into?
Dattatreya.
Dattatreya. Huh?
I'm not sure, Prabhu. Anybody knows here? Maybe Sandhya Mataji may be knowing. I don't know. Sandhya Mataji, do you know?
That is also comes under Vaishnava, means Prabhuji, Dattatreya Swami, in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned like first canto also it is mentioned, one of the Vishnu avatara only, one of the form.
He is a combined, it's mentioned as combined an avatar of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. That's also like something like that I read actually recently.
Actually, Dattatreya Swami Prabhuji, he is purely Vishnu form, and along with him, 3 more forms also has come as Shiva, and one Muni is very anger. He is Durvasa. He is a form of Shiva Prabhuji. Those 3 are Anasuyas, 3 Anasuya sons, 3 sons. One is a purely Vishnu form is Dattatreya Swami. He is also, this is comes under Guru Parampara, Prabhuji. Means like that is completely like Dattatreya Parampara, like Guru Parampara. In that only some lineage is there, Prabhuji. From Dattatreya it starts. After that Sripada Sri Vallabha, Nrsimha Saraswati, like that his forms only extended forms has taken after and after. It is clearly mentioned in Guru Charitra, Dattatreya Charitra, Guru Charitra. Some books are there, Prabhuji. It is mentioned clearly in that. That is also Vishnu's worship only, Prabhuji. But in a easy way of worshipping. Means in Kali Yuga we are not able to do homas and yajnas, right? He has come down little bit to reach everyone. Yes, Prabhuji. That's what I understood.
Yeah, I don't know, Prabhu, much about that, Prabhu.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Here there are different incarnations mentioned. I recently read about it. I'm just trying to find it. But no, we have to check with them only. Whoever somebody is following, we can find out from them what actually is there. But according to our knowledge, these 4 authorized paramparas which is mentioned in Pratma Purana is these 4, Prabhu. I think I'm not able to. Somewhere I recently read about Dattatreya. I think I don't remember where it is.
Here, Prabhuji, here. In
Yeah.
purport.
The Lord incarnated himself as Dattatreya, son of Rishi, Atri, and Anasuya. The history of birth of Dattatreya as an incarnation of Lord is mentioned in Brahmanda Purana. In connection with the story of devoted wife, it is said that Anasuya, the wife of Rishi Atri, prayed before Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as follows: My lords, if you are pleased with me, and if you desire me to ask from you some of the blessing, then I pray you combine together to become my son. This was accepted by the Lord, and Dattatreya, the Lord, expounded the philosophy of spirit. So here it is mentioned, he is a combined potency of the three murtis, right? So this is what I read actually a few days back. So that's why maybe there may be like different little bit small different this thing explanations possible.
Yeah. Actually, why I ask this question, because my mother follows in Maharashtra. There is Swami Samartha, so they're following this Dattatreya, and in his Charitra also he has mentioned that there's mentioned that he is Vishnu's avatar only. So I just thought that I asked this.
We have to find out more detail actually, because see whoever is your acharya, do they have a spiritual master? The spiritual master will be knowing more details about it. So one more thing we have to understand is that actually we see there are different kinds of expansions of the Lord, right? We have seen that earlier. Like there are all technical terms are there, like Vibhava Prakasha, then Swayam Prakasha, right? Like that, there are so many different potencies of the Lord. Some of them are direct expansion, some of them are in depth, portions of the plenary portion, right? There are different, so many, innumerable. So the expansion of the Lord is considered like the waves of the ocean. There's no ending actually. It's so many expansions are there. So like some of them are Vishnu Tattvas, so like that the Jiva Tattvas are there. So we have this Manvantara Avadara, Leela Avadara, Guna Avadara, Amsha Avadara, like that, so many different incarnations. But it is mentioned that many of these Vishnu Tattvas, right, they actually have their own planet in the spiritual world. So the Vaikunta, we know that material world is only 1/4, right? And 3/4 is the spiritual world. Ekapada Vibhuti, Tripada Vibhuti. And spiritual world is like, we cannot even imagine. The material world itself is unlimited. Spiritual world, we cannot even measure that much huge it is. So there are innumerable Vaikunta planets in the spiritual world. And in every Vaikunta planet, there is a presiding deity. One planet, for example, Lord Narsimha Dev is there. Then Lord Ramchandra is there. Vaman Dev is there. Like that. So every different. So maybe if Dattatreya is an incarnation, there may possible, I don't know, I'm just saying, if it's a Vishnu Tattva, he will have a planet in there, right? So ultimately you have to decide where you want to go, right? So some worshippers of Vishnu, for example Sri Vaishnavas, their destination is Vaikuntha, where Lord Narayana is actually presiding in that particular planet. Our destination, like we have understood from the acharyas, right, the Goswamis and other acharyas, that in the spiritual world also, anybody who goes to spiritual world, right, none of them will come back to the material world, like any Vaikuntha planet. But in Vaikuntha planet also, there are distinctions and different gradations, right? Based on the desire of the devotee. how he actually worships the Lord, how he sees the Supreme Lord. Accordingly, we read the different. So we can decide. So somebody worships that particular form of Vishnu, he will reach that particular planet of Vaikunta, right? And our destination is the topmost of all the Vaikunta planets. According to our acharyas, we understand that Goloka Vrindavan is the topmost, where original Krishna is actually, is residing there. And the different rasas actually in Goloka Vrindavana, the predominating rasa is Madhurya rasa. It's called Madhurya Dham. So there's no wrong actually, if somebody is worshipping another Vishnu form, and if it is a bona fide parampara, it's coming in a proper disciplic succession, authorized, then they may attain that particular Vaikunta planet, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, yeah, I got you. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody has any other questions? Yes, we'll go to the next section. We'll chant one round. For that, we'll read preaching is essence. Anybody has any question, devotees? Otherwise, let us go on. Can you send somebody read this preaching is essence? Chitramadaji, do you have any question, Chitramadaji?
No, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Everything is clear? Okay. So I request all devotees, you watch the remaining series of the video. Is that okay?
Yeah, Prabhuji, sure. Yeah.
Next week I'll ask questions from the next series. I'll check whether you actually went through. Okay. Good.
What is the series called, Prabhuji?
Acharya.
Achha.
One link, Mataji, I posted in this particular chat. In Skype chat, I posted the first video link. Okay, so you can check it out.
Okay.
So once you click on the first one, then other also will come. Because it's a series, no? So you'll be able to see other. Okay, so somebody can read, please. Preaching in the essence.